Welcome to Shul Machshava on the Daf. We're holding in Zevachim Daf Gimel. The Gemara tells us in Amud Aleph that if a chatos was shechted in the purpose to be an oila, it becomes possible. But if it's shechted for the purpose to be a chulin, it's kosher. Why is that so? The mino machribo, the lav mino lo machribo. Oila and chatos consider to be the same min, even though they're two different karbonis, but they're both a carbon, both the same min. But chatos and chulin are not the same min, they're not the same type, because chulin is different. Rav Yosef Engel, in the Sefer Lekach Toiv, Klal Vov, he proves from here the following idea. He has a question there. Is a animal which is chulin, is it a different chefza? Is it a different creature than an animal which is Hekdesh? And he brings a few rayos, a few proofs, that it's two different things. The first raya he brings is the Gemara in Makis that says that someone who is taking an animal which is sharp sulei amgudoshim, which means an axe that was Hekdesh but became pasul, so it's somewhat Hekdesh, somewhat chulin, is considered to be kilayim. It's considered to be taking two animals. Rashi explains there, because it's a chulin and a Hekdesh are two different animals. So you see here clearly that chulin and Hekdesh are not the same thing. Even though it could be the same animal who's chulin, then turned to be Hekdesh, it became a new creature. It's a new creation. And he brings the Afkaminas there regarding dichui. This is not continuing the previous path. The second proof he brings from our Gemara. The fact that the Gemara says the chulin is lav mino, it's not the kind, not the type of chatos, that shows that there are two different meaning, two different species, the two different creatures. And he continues on, he discusses it a little bit, but he says from the end of Daf Gimel Amud Aleph, when the Gemara says that the chulin in comparison to kachim, it's like having a mechitza in a tanner, it's like having a separation in the oven. Where the separation has nothing to do with the oven, it shows clearly the chulin and kachim are two different meaning, or two different species, something else. Ayin Sham, that he goes on to speak about it in length. One thing we learn from Rabbi Yosef Engel, you can have an animal, but when the animal gets a shem of kodesh, it's not just the same animal, but it has gdush on it. It's as if it started something new. It's a new creature. When kodesh is chal on something, it's as if it's reborn. And this is connected very much to the avodah we're dealing with these days. Because the Rambam in Hilchos Teshuva tells us that a person who does teshuva is a new person. The lashon of the Rambam in Perek Zayin Hilchos Teshuva Halacha Vav, he says teshuva mekareves es harechokim. Teshuva brings closer the people that were far away, that were distant. Emesh, yesterday, Hayaz sonu lifnei hamokim. He was, so to speak, hated in front of Hashem. Meshukotz meruchok v'to'ivo ve'ayoim u'ohu v'nechmod kore v'yodit. Now he's loved, he's connected, he's one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teshuva transforms the person. He makes him something else. And the Rambam immediately after brings what we learned in the Gemara B'Metzion. The Gemara says, you're not allowed to cause a person pain. You're not allowed to say something hurtful to somebody else. So the Gemara tells us that one of the examples is, don't tell about teshuva. Remember what you did in the past. So seemingly, the idea behind it is that, he already did teshuva. Don't remind him the past. You're just causing him pain for no reason. But the Rambam puts that halacha immediately after he explains what teshuva does. So someone are medayik from here that you see the pshat is deeper than that. What about teshuva does teshuva? What about teshuva accepts on himself the kedusha and the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So the past is gone. The past is not there. Yes, he always has to remember what he did. He should not do it again. But he's considered to be a new person. The past is completely disconnected from where he is right now. So that's why you can't come and tell him, remember what you did in the past. Because if you tell him, remember what you did in the past, that means you're assuming, you're looking at him as one person. But he's not, he's about teshuva, he's reborn. So you can't remind him of the past because he was a different person then. And this is what this Gemara is telling us according to Rabbi Yosef Engel. You have an animal that's chalan el kedusha, it turns to be something new. A human being who does teshuva and puts on himself kedusha turns to be something new. He's reborn, he's recreated. To join or to sponsor the Shor Machshava Shiurim, please email shormachshava@gmail.com.